Today we're in Brussels. We're close to the European Parliament, the heart of European policy making, and we're close to the European Commission as well. We have two organised sessions today. One is in Mundo J, which is the hub of various different NGOs, but particularly WaterLANDS International. One on peatland policy proposals developed by stakeholders and hosted by Care-Peat. The countries that we represent are Ireland, Belgium, France, Netherlands and the United Kingdom. And the second one is hosted by the WaterLANDS project. We're discussing European peatland policy with various MEPs, with people from the Commission, with people representing different governments, and that's in relation to the nature restoration laws which are going through the European Parliament at the moment.
The nature restoration law will be the key policy for restoring ecosystems across the EU in the coming years. At the moment, there are a lot of discussions on that in the European institutions to set clear, strict targets how ecosystems should be tackled in the future to improve biodiversity properties across the continent.
I'm so glad that this event took place in the European Parliament. Ever since I entered this house, I've been fighting for restoring peatlands because they're so incredibly important for climate change mitigation, climate change adaptation and biodiversity. And ever since I learned that the peatlands of the world store twice as much carbon as all forests put together, although they are only covering 3% of the world's surface, it was clear to me, if we want to achieve our climate targets, we will have to re-wet peatlands, and therefore we have to start in the EU because that's where I'm working.
My view on peatland restoration in the EU is that we should restore degraded peatlands, but we should do it much faster and on a much larger scale than we do it now. The EU is the second largest emitter of ground-bound greenhouse gases in the world after Indonesia.
Okay, so the biggest barrier to increasing peat restoration in the UK at the moment is actually the size of the sector to undertake restoration. The capacity of the projects is quite small at the moment, but the targets we're setting them of 280,000 hectares of peat restoration by 2050 means a massive increase in the capacity, and we need to grow them quickly, and we're looking at how to do that now.
One of the most important issues which should be strengthened in the proposal is that restoration always entails re-wetting, so always the water level in the peatland should be raised up to the surface level so that the peat is conserved and not decomposed anymore and going up as CO2 to the atmosphere.
Well, the day was wonderful. I had this fantastic opportunity to moderate these two sessions. We wanted to know the insights and the different opinions from these different sectors into this new nature restoration regulation and how can we make it approved as fast as possible.
Some of the targets are not ambitious enough, so we should increase them. But the fact that there is a nature restoration law, that's an important issue. Now it's recognized at the highest level in the EU that we have a problem and that we should do something about it. That's a good thing.
The debate we had today was very nuanced. We had a lot of really profound scientific knowledge. We had great input from the European Commission. We had great questions from the audience. I think it was an extremely informed audience, and now our task will be to spread the word outside of the Zoom. For the future, I hope that by 2030 we will really have re-wetted 20% of Europe's drained peatlands, and that would be a great achievement for everyone.
We now see that there's a lot of interest in what we're doing, in the work that we're doing, and we're delighted with the progress so far. Well, at the end of the day, I'm going to be a happy man when I see that we have achieved zero carbon on the peatlands all around Europe.